Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a fine artist, a dreamer, a traveler, explorer. Currently, I live in Italy and I paint and explore this beautiful country. So if you want to see more of my travel adventures, make sure to check out the previous vlog. They will be somewhere in here. And for sure in the description box down below. So make sure you check out my vlogs to see more of authentic Italian life. But in this video, I want to talk about artist block, which is something all creative people are dealing with. So I want to talk about it, what it is, and how I personally deal with this issue. But before we will go into it, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you will not miss any of my new videos. I'm so thankful for all of you guys, for all of your steadfast support in my art journey. I read all of the comments and I'm really encouraged by all of you, and I want to connect more with you. So please leave your comments down below, ask questions. I'm always so happy to connect with all of you. So now about the artist block. What is it? And if you are creative of some sort, or you are an artist yourself, which I'm assuming you probably are if you're watching these videos, you're familiar with creative process itself, and you kind of know that creative process or creative circle kind of goes in these phases when you have a period or a phase when you're like super motivated and super inspired, and it's just like everything comes really easy to you and really organically, and you just like have done a lot, you can do a lot, and you like creative work you do is really easily achievable for you. And there is other phases, more of like collecting material, collecting inspiration, having all of these experiences which you later on will use in your process, or it can like include research and just like watching, absorbing all the different things around you, watching other artists paint, gathering these inspirations and collecting them. And there is also a phases when you just don't know if you ever can paint again. It's like it feels like you're stuck, and it feels like you questioning yourself so much. You don't know if you actually have what it takes to be an artist, and you just don't feel any motivation of doing any kind of creative job. Like you cannot make yourself go to the studio or like sit or draw or paint or write, like wherever you do, you just don't feel like doing that, and you're basically questioning if it's like for you and you are even an artist. And I'm just here to say that it's completely normal. It happens to everyone, absolutely everyone, even to already like professional and established artists. And what distinguishes professional artists from the amateur is actually understanding and knowing that it's completely normal and it's just part of the process, and it's gonna pass, and you will find yourself on the other side of it. And actually when you get there, you will see that your art elevated and it's improved a lot, and you will see so much growth. And overall, you just learn that no matter how tough and frustrating this artist block could be in the moment when you're actually going through it, you just learn that overall it's beneficial and it's a good thing to go through one, because every time you go through it, your art elevates and you improve and you grow and you grow. And that's what we want as creative people, right?
Oh my gosh, isn't this the most beautiful place to live and have an art studio? And these are the lemon trees, and these are the gardens.
It is so beautiful.
And this is me.
So yeah, it's completely normal, and what you do, you just keep pushing. You just keep pushing through, you just keep battling and overcoming resistance day by day, and eventually you break through this wall and it becomes easier and it starts to flow again. It's important to bring yourself back into this river, or like not leave the river, this like creative flow in general at all, because after like resistance hits you and you just stop doing what you're supposed to do for a little bit, then it's like the more you like put it aside, the more resistance you're gonna encounter, the more hard it will be get back to this flow. So never leave the river, never stop doing, no matter how hard it takes and no matter how dumb and ugly you think your art is, and like even if you're doing just a mess, this creative mess, it's still a mess, but it's okay. It's normal. It's important just to keep on doing something. And that's how you carry yourself through this phase and through this season. You just keep on doing what you're doing, and you just know that at some point you will experience a breakthrough, and that's what it's all about. And that's a fun part about being an artist, because it's a constant growth and constant improvement, and it's never like you quite arrived, but it's more about the journey and experience, and it's all about the journey. So it's all right, and every time you're facing this wall and this block, you just know that your art gonna be way better after you pass it. Also, I kind of want to talk about my personal experience and what I'm currently going through. And it kind of feels like an artist block. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but I think what it is. So I'm gonna share a little bit about that. And what keeps amazing me is how other areas of our life reflected in our art in a way and affected by it. So it's like one way and then the other way around. So if you watch my previous vlogs and you a little bit more familiar with my story, you know that I just moved out of Florence, and it was overall really intense season, and it was the busiest season so far I probably had in my life. Like I had to manage so many things at once, because I was working with this art academy. I was doing internship, so it was basically like whole-time job. So it was a lot of like verbal translation and interpreting right on spot, and it was just lots of knowledge to keep in your mind at the same time, regarding like art terms and art anatomy and perspective and like all of this really fancy specific subjects, and I have to interpret almost like all day long. So it was like quite intense internship. And then of course I write articles for our like school, and I'm doing art coaching for my lovely students, which I love and adore, and it's such a joy working with them and helping them in their personal art journey. So, and also I have my online students, which I really love and adore, and it's such a joy to work with them and help them alongside their artistic journeys. And also I do paint myself, and I am an artist, so I have to handle marketing and branding part of it, and I still have to paint, and I have to do everything that has to do with content creation and product design, and just like other collaboration I was involved during this past months. So it was just like so many things all at once, and it was like really exciting and really motivated, but then it's just like it physically got to the point when it's like too much to handle. And I would start to see that like in my art, like it's all reflected, and I did find time to paint still, and I did manage to paint quite a lot, even though I was really busy. But then every time I paint, I would see how it, like I translate this busyness, I translate this like restless my restless soul into the canvases, and it just like, it's kind of has an idea, but then it's like it's too busy. It's like so many details that are like all great. They're like, I love the concept, I like the idea, but then it's like almost impossible to look at it, and it just like, it's so contrived, and like there's like so much going on, and it just shows how busy I am, and like how I just have to prioritize something in my life right now. And again, like huge thanks to my art friends and our amazing Milan Art Institute community, because they kind of helped me in a way to like clearly see all of these things, and I'm like, okay, it makes sense, like I have to prioritize something. And it's just like interesting how it like reflects in your art. And also like my art has to suffer a little bit in this season, because if you know me well, I'm really responsible, and as soon as I commit to something, I would do my best on like giving and putting all of my heart into it, and like making sure it's like high quality, like I'm always in time, I'm always doing my best. So the only areas that like got to suffer was like my personal art and all of that. And of course I got a little bit discouraged because of all of it, and you probably can relate that like as soon as you put yourself in some kind of schedule, you just, and if you're responsible and committed as I am, it's like it's really hard, because you start prioritizing things that you have like scheduled, and you just want to be good in whatever you do, so you end up doing all the things you committed to. But then if you're compromising like your truest self, and you're compromising your art, and you're compromising your destiny, so yeah, it could be a little bit tricky. So you're definitely gonna watch out for this, so you not find yourself months and years later just suddenly off the track just because you committed to all of these things and responsibilities that wasn't even meant to serve your initial dream. So yeah, just be aware of it, and don't make choices based on like comfort or stuff like that. Just make sure you make your choices out of strength, and it serves your dream and your destiny. And in my case, it was an actual, real physical move, and I basically moved out of Florence to a completely different region, different part of Italy, and I kind of started my life all over just to get back on track with my art. But of course, it could be like more subtle changes when it just like you change your perspective, you change something like innately, and like just like inside of you, and just how you view things, and like it could be more subtle. It's like it could really go both ways. But that's where I actually like encountered this block, because I just don't used to like spend so much time with my art, and I like rediscovering my process right now as well because of that. Because it was like part of the routine, I was like trying to fit it like in every single spare space I have in my schedule, so I wasn't giving it like my full attention, and that's why I got to suffer, obviously. And now I'm like finding my way back and rediscovering my process. And what is fascinating for me is how prophetic art is in a way, and how like sometimes we are going through the changes, like external changes in our life, and like just facing different things, and then it reflects in our art. And sometimes it's like completely other way around, when it's like you paint something, you feel something is coming, and you like paint it first, and then it comes into your life. So it's like in a way like a manifestation, let's say, but it's like just always like so fun. And like if you pay attention to all of these things, it's like it's really like rewarding and fun to watch all of these processes happen, and how your art and your life, like it's all connected, it's all intertwined. And it's really fun, and it's probably like one of my favorite things about like being an artist in general, like this connection and like how your art and your personal life and everything else is just so organically intertwined, like one flows from the other and it's all just so beautifully connected. So what's the solution? Like when you facing this wall and you just, let's say, don't feel motivated, don't feel inspired, you don't know where your art is going, or it's not going where you want it to be, or it just feels extremely hard to sit in your studio, like all of that, we all know like how it could happen. So what do you do? And the answer is really simple. It just, you have to keep on doing your work. You just have to keep this pushing through. You just have to keep on going on, no matter how tough and hard and uninspired it could be in the moment. It just, you have to make it happen. You have to make yourself sit and keep with doing your work anyway, even if like anything you produce, it just looks like ugly and you forget exactly how to paint and it doesn't goes anywhere. But you have to make yourself sit and do your work, because if you put it aside and it's like for one day or just like 2 days or a week, it will not work well, and later on when you actually decide to get back on track, it will take you twice as much effort to get back into this creative flow and this creative river. So don't do it. Don't just say like, oh okay, just do something simple, but do the work. Don't put it aside, don't compromise it. Like never compromise like your art and your destiny. If it's meant for you, like you just have to push through, and you're gonna find yourself on the other side of this block and you will experience a breakthrough, and it's going to be so wonderful and beautiful. So it's going to be completely worth it. But I still gonna give you another small, really practical tip of what helps me personally and what I do and think it could be beneficial for other people as well. I think change is necessary in seasons like that. So what helps me personally is just like changing surrounding, changing the atmosphere. You can paint your walls different color if you're able to, or you can just rearrange the furniture. If you change something in the place when you leave, or especially in the place where you're working on your creative project, like your studio, wherever it is, it really helps your brain to get a little bit like reorganized, and it feels like fresh, and it gives you a new perspective on things, which is always really good. And in a perfect world, I would say it's good to travel. It's good to get literally out of your comfort zone and just like go on a trip or go have like different experience. But I know and I'm aware that it's 2020 and the world got a little bit mad this year, so not everyone literally can make a trip. But there's still so many ways of how you can change the surroundings, not traveling far. And it could be just like different experience. It could be like cooking classes or dancing classes, or like you can bake something, or you can just change the medium of what you're working on. Maybe do some like simple jewelry or do ceramic, like educate yourself with like tutorial videos, and just change a medium for a little bit, just to play and have fun. And then it unlocks somehow your creativity. It's like switches on this creative side of your brain, and like it switches on your right brain, so you actually like feel way more uplifted and motivated. And when you go back to your like normal art creating process, you feel way more equipped for it, because you experimented with something else. So I would say everything that is not familiar, everything that is just out of your reach or like your skill or your comfort zone, it's always good, because it somehow helps you, it really helps you to get back into this creative flow and get back to creating stuff. And don't compromise your art. Don't just put it aside and like wait for the perfect moment to come and then you will be productive and you will paint, like, because it's never happened. And as Pablo Picasso said, like, inspiration exists, but it has to find you working. So as far as you keep on doing the work, pushing through, as I said, you can help yourself and experiment a little bit to make it easier, but you have to stick with it. You have to stick with your creative living and you have to stay on track. So thank you so much guys for watching. I hope this video was encouraging and helpful and motivating, and again, just want to encourage you that that's what happens with all of the artists, with all of the creative people. So there is nothing to be afraid of, and there is nothing to worry about this phase, because this phase is normal. But as far as you pass it, your art is always elevated and you always will find your art in a completely different level. So just embrace it and try to make the best out of this blog, and just have fun in the middle of creating lots of beautiful or not as beautiful mess, because it's all good. So thank you so much again for watching. Thank you so much for being part of my journey, and I hope it was encouraging and helpful. And I love you all, beautiful people. So stay on track, and I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.